Hey guys, Mark here from W.H.Y Property Investment. So it's that time of the week where I'm doing the Friday afternoon 5 at 5, and I'm out here in the Ipswich region, and behind me here you can see the Ipswich Hospital. Hopefully you can hear me okay today. I'm actually beside a road that's a little bit noisy and there's a little bit of wind around. Ipswich Hospital behind us here. We've got the large sporting grounds and park behind us here at Ipswich as well. Ipswich CBD is just over behind on the other side of the hill there. So you can, there's quite a lot of multi-storey businesses, multi-storey towers with a whole range of different businesses in those buildings as well. So the Ipswich City hospital there, or public hospital, is getting an upgrade. It's I think a $124 million upgrade there that you can see behind us that's going to be taking place. But I was out here at a building and pest inspection today for one of our clients for a renovation property that they're looking to renovate and add some value to. So we're going through some of the stuff there, obviously the building and pest inspector, but also what they could potentially do with the property so when they could see it physically there. So let's get into it. Let's go through my 5 favourite deals that I've seen this week. Been super busy, been finding a whole bunch of different deals. They are a little bit tricky to find at the moment. There's not as much stuff on the market as there once was, but getting on with it, there is another property in this Ipswich region, pretty close to town. It's off market. It's actually not coming to the market at all. We can pick it up for around that sort of 280, sort of 275 mark. It is rented for $290 per week. It's an older sort of character style type home, and walking distance to the town centre there, and walking distance to the hospital, all that sort of stuff. So not a bad sort of entry level into such a great location. A lot of shops and infrastructure around that sort of area as well. As I said, hopefully you can hear me here. It's a little bit windy. There is the street as well. So we'll get on with it here. So we've got another property. I'm looking at my hand because I've written them all down. I couldn't remember them all. I've seen so many properties this week. We've got another property that I was looking at this week, which is actually on 800 square meters. It's something that's off market. We can pick it up for around that sort of 335. Is about as low as we're going to get them on this one. I have been through it. I've been through it about a year ago, or maybe even a little longer than a year ago. It's rented for 325, and it's the ideal block that you can add that secondary dwelling at the back, so a granny flat. And why I love those sort of the idea of putting a granny flat on properties is, one, you've got the land value. The land content is where the value is going to continue to rise, but it's not the building that's going to continue to increase in value. That's why you have like depreciation schedules, because the building actually devalues over time. It's the land content that actually increases, increases value over time. So that's one reason. When you add that secondary dwelling, what you're doing is you're supercharging that property's cash flow, and you're adding that cash flow. So it's like it's essentially you're adding a 2-bedroom extra dwelling. You're getting around that sort of 280 a week per rent in extra. You've got no body corporates. You've got an increase in council rates because you've got the 2 dwellings there. So there is an increase in council rates, but there's no body corporates. But you've still got the land content. And the other thing that you have with those 2 dwellings is you lower your risk. So with that one property, if the tenant was to move out, you get no income. But now you've got those 2 rental incomes. You actually have that lowered risk that they're both going to be vacant at the same time. It's more likely that it's only going to be one vacant, and then maybe another vacant down the track once the other one's rented. So that was number 4 on the Friday afternoon, 5 at 5. We've got number. Hang on, I'm just looking at my hand here. But number 3 on the Friday afternoon is actually a property that I saw during the week. It's a property that I did a little bit of a video on about the street more than the property itself. It's currently getting $300 per week. We can pick it up for $250. It's really close to train, really close to shops. It's a great street that looks like it's strongly held by owner-occupiers. Brick and tile, and at the end of the street you can see city view. So not actually from the the property because there's some trees in front, but from the end of the street you can clearly see Brisbane City from there. Joel, thanks for joining on. There's a few people joining on, but I can't really, and I'm not sure why, I can't see everybody who does jump on. Joel's the first person I've seen, but I've seen a few people coming in and off the thing. So that was number 3 on the Friday afternoon, 5 at 5, and that brings us up to number 2. So this one's a pretty interesting one. It's actually 2 units on one title. Someone's given me some thumbs up, so thanks for that. Ray, thanks for jumping on as well, mate. Good to see you. So number 2 is 2 units on the one title. They're 1-bedroom units on one title. So when we're thinking about it from a finance point of view, Ben, good to see you, mate. Good to talk to you the other day as well. When we think about it from a finance point of view, it's difficult to get finance on units that are under 50 squares, but because these are both on the one title, it would be classed as the one loan, obviously. So you can get finance on these. Correct me if I'm wrong out there, brokers. I have bought other ones like this in the past, but finance is relatively easy on these ones, as long as they're both over that 50 square meters collectively. So the rent on these is total rent is about $420 a week. The body corps are actually quite high, but because the rent's so good, it's cash flow positive at the end of the day. Now you do need to rent these to. It started off as maybe an older, an older. Not retirement village is not the right word. Older person's not old person's home, but you had over 50s home is what the word I'm looking for. That style of you had to be over 50 to live there. It's not like that anymore. But it's cash flow positive. You've got the 2 units there. So again, it's like a dual living type setup in a way where it's unlikely that they're going to be vacant at the same time. So great little cash flow positive one. Very low entry point on that one as well. So we can pick that up for under $150,000, that one. Even probably slightly under $140,000. As I said, the total rent for the both units there is about $420 per week. Body corporates are relatively high, but the rent covers that. So after all your expenses, you are covered and still left with money at the end of the day with a really, really super easy entry level purchase price. So that brings us up to number 1 on the Friday afternoon, 5 at 5, which is a property that I have been looking at for a client, and it is a dual occupancy property. This one, it is a house with granny flat. I really like the suburb on this particular one. It is got some really great cash flow. It's would need a little bit of adjustment with the granny flat in terms of you might want to shift the fence to the side and move the driveway. There's there at the moment, but it's really easy to do. It's certainly got the space there to do it. Hopefully, again, that you guys can hear me. The wind's picked up here a little bit, but really like that one. Got a great cash flow on it in a fantastic suburb that I think has got awesome growth potential. So look, that's it. That was number 1 on the Friday afternoon, 5 at 5. Thanks for joining on, and I will talk to you guys on the next video. See ya.